Okay, so I am going to show you guys one of my powerful strategies called the Solo X strategy that I actually use as of today, and also teach my students the same strategy in my courses. I'm gonna basically be walking you guys through how this whole strategy works and how you can use this to start trading. This is really powerful, especially if you are just getting started with trading, or if you having problems making money consistently. This is also a strategy that you guys can use. So this is a full course really off this just strategy right here, so make sure y'all watch this all the way through. So now, I don't know what you guys really know about trading, but it's honestly important to know the fundamentals before you get into different styles and strategies, because one thing that a lot of people lack in is the fundamentals of understanding price action and understanding market structure and just general basics of trading. So I definitely want to do what I can to help you guys figure this out in just this one video. So the first thing is we want to, of course, mark up our charts before we start adding other indicators, because one thing that you guys got to know is you just can't trade off of indicators. And I'm gonna tell you, because what will happen is a lot of these indicators lack, and if once you start adding indicator after indicator after indicator after indicator, you're going to forever be lost, because one indicator is telling you one thing, one is telling you another thing. It's just like you don't know what you're doing, and you're overwhelmed by all of these different indicators. You don't want to have your charts to look crumble. You want to try to have it as naked as possible. But I do know a lot of people that trade naked and they're successful. However, me per se, I need confirmations. I need tools to kind of help me, and this is where the analytics come in play, price action, market structure, and all of that. So right off the bat, as you see here, this is basically what I marked up, this area here. Now I don't use lines when I use support and resistance, just because I honestly, this is what happens when you use a line. I feel like you can put a line anywhere, and then if you go somewhere in the chart, it's going to line up to something. So honestly, I like to use zone areas. I call it major key areas in my courses, but I like to use these because this is where the area of that candle or of that price hat came multiple times. So like as you see here, it came here multiple times. So what we're going to do is just draw a bunch of, not so many to make it cluttered, but we're just going to draw enough to help us identify structure and help us identify where the market is going. So right off the bat, we are currently live trading, but right off the back, this is one area that I noticed that is a very strong major key area for me. So what happens now, what's going to happen now is, if price was to ever come over here, I am going to be waiting on that bounce, as it, like, literally you see it happen here. The bounce happened, also came down, the bounce happened here, and also came almost down to that zone area, but the bounce happened, but it really came down here, and the bounce is suspected to happen again. Now at the end of the day, nobody in the world knows exactly where the market is going to go. They can tell you, oh, it's going to go up or it's going to go down, but I'm gonna literally show you guys how you can kind of figure things out as it goes, So now that we got our basics as far as the market structure, just finding our key areas, I'm gonna draw a few more so we can kind of help ourselves out. So I'm gonna draw this area here because I am noticing that this is also a pretty powerful area, just because I'm seeing a lot of indecision right here. So we're just going to draw it right here as well, and then once we draw that, I'm just going to drag it out just to see if it's really effective in other spots and other areas. And as you see, look left, that gives you more clues. And as you see, we are looking left, and as you see, this is resistance. It acted as support, now it's resistance. So now, me having this information here, this is going to be a level that I will have my take profit at. All right, so that being said, I am going to jump in this trade right here, if I get my candlestick patterns and also my other confirmations, and then we're going to take profit potentially here. This is my ultimate goal for to take profit, right? And what I mean by that is, I'll show you guys kind of what I mean by that. Let's actually do this now, and then we're going to jump into actually getting into trades and so forth and all of that. So what I mean is, if you look here, basically, if price was to come back down and retest like an area right here, which is market structure, this was the previous high. If the market was to come back, which it did, and it's going to probably give me a candlestick pattern, which is something that I do teach, which is the engulfing candle. If I get that, then I'm going to hop in a trade. Now let's say that the market was to do a bounce, it was to bounce like this and then come back down, I'm getting another trade. And then it was come back up, come back down, I'm getting another trade, come back up, come back down, I'm getting another trade. And then all my take profits essentially will be in this area right here, right? This is where my take profit would be. However, with this strategy I'm gonna show you guys, you can also have the moving averages, which I'll show you that if they cross over, then that also is another indication that you should take some profit out, or you could take all your profit out. Honestly, it really just depends on you, but regardless guys, you are going to be in the money for sure. All right, so now let's go ahead and add everything that I'm going to be using. So very first thing is we're going to be using is the moving average 50, all right, and then the 9 moving averages. All right, they're all literally simple moving averages, so you will want to have all 3 of these here. So you have the 50, and then you would the blue is actually going to be the 21, sorry, and then also the orange yellowish color is going to be your 9. All right, so once you have all 3 of these indicators, or all 3 of these moving averages added, it's very simple on what's next. So now we're going to jump into, we can do 15 minute, we can do 30 minute, 4 hours. I'm jumping into the 5 minutes because like what I said, I want to show y'all how powerful this is, and this works in any time frame. It doesn't matter what time frame you're currently in. All right, so the first thing, how does this strategy work? So the Solo X strategy only works when you get a crossover from all 3 candles, or all 3 moving averages, and then once you get that crossover, you have to wait on a engulfing candle to hop in a trade. So what I mean by that is, if let's say the market is currently selling, right? Let's say the market is currently going down, right? And then we create, let's say this is our candle right here, this is our wick. Let's say the moving averages is right above the candle. That is giving you indication to sell it. Now it would be vice versa. If the candle stick is right above the moving averages, that is letting you know that you are looking for buying opportunities. So as you see right here, this is an engulfing candlestick pattern. An engulfing candlestick pattern is when one candle is covering the other opposite candle. So as you see here, this red candle here is completely covering this green candle. So that is an engulfing candle right there, and that's when we will want to enter. Now yeah, you could have got it earlier right here at this crossover, but like what I said guys, for confirmations purposes, you will want to wait on the candle to be below the moving averages. So as you guys already see, we got it here, and we got the stick, another candlestick pattern here, but I'm honestly not going to use this just because the wick hat came and created, but I'm using this one. So we are going to enter in the market here. So let me go ahead and say I am entering now. So we are currently entering the market now, and then we're going to ride this. So I take profit. We're only going to exit the trade once the moving averages crosses over again. Okay, once all of the moving averages actually crosses over, and I'm talking about all 3, not just 2, not just 1, whatever, I need all 3 to physically cross over for me to say, all right, I'm getting out this trade. So look at this guys, look at all of this. So right now you could have rolled this, and I'm actually tell you how you can keep getting in trades while you're riding this all the way down until it cross over. All right, so as you see that we got a crossover from all 3 literally right here. So I'm gonna probably say the close of this red candle right here, this is where it happened. So this is 100 pip move right here, y'all, and if you was to do one standard, that's $1,000 right there that you just made in a day. You know what I'm saying? Like, these moves are paired, and I'm telling you, man, if y'all stick to the strategy, it's gonna go crazy. So now let's say you want to keep entering the trades, or you might have missed out on this trade. The only time you will want to get back in the trade is when the candlestick, so let's go ahead and move this to the side so we can kind of get this out the way. So the candlesticks has to all at least hit 2 moving averages. So now let's go ahead and say we are going to get back in this trade. The only way we are once again going to get in the trade is if we get a engulfing candle. So we did get our engulfing candle in a couple spots. I'm actually going to use this as my second entry, just because it is giving me my price action momentum that I want to see. What that means is basically I got a double top, and it actually hit my 50 moving averages, which is my last point. So like, let's say if the market was to do something like this, because this will happen. Let's say the market comes here and it comes down. If as long as you getting like a double top or it retested in the same area twice, that's honestly an indication that you can go ahead and sell. If you get your engulfing pattern or engulfing candlestick pattern, then you can get back in the trade, right? So I never really got any of that in these areas. So I never got it here, right here, because it's just one retest. I got it over here. That's why I got in the market. This is why it's important to understand price action, because guys, if you don't understand price action or the fundamentals of trading, then you're very confused on when to enter and when to exit. All right, so let's go ahead and ride this. Once again, we're just going to keep riding this until it crosses over. So we know we can tell that the market is actually crossed over here. So as you see, that's 52 pips right there, baby. So right now we at 152. And let's do another one. I see a couple entries. So we got another entry here. This is actually, to be honest, where I would have entered in the market, and we would have basically got in again right here. So I'm just going to move that there, and then we're going to take that there. So that's 26 pips right there, and that's it. Basically, y'all, that's it. I mean, this is how you can keep entering in trades and keep getting in trades. And this is like a way to do sniper entries, y'all. This is one way to be in and out of market. So I don't know what else to tell y'all about that, but honestly, man, I want to literally go over something with y'all. So make sure that you understand the fundamentals. Make sure you have your markups first, because if you don't mark up your charts, you're going to just literally trade blind. Regardless if you're still getting your signals, all we know is, let's say that this is a major key area, right? And we got our signal here, but it just completely went the opposite way. You would never know that because you have not done your markup. So you have to do your markups. So right now, if we're looking here in this chart, I am going to show you guys how you can just mark it up. So you're just going to simply wait on price to hit the moving averages again, and then once again it has to create a retest in any of these areas, right? It has to create a retest in any of these areas. Once we get a retest, meaning like a double retest, then we're going to hop in the trade again, only if the candle is in our favor as like a candlestick pattern. So that's really something that you guys got to pay attention to. I mean, this strategy is very straight to the point, it's very basic, and it's very effective. So other than that, man, if y'all want more content, make sure y'all subscribe. I like what I said, man. This is just one strategy out of many strategies that I have on my channel, in my course and all of that. But I just wanted to walk you guys through it and kind of show you exactly how that works. Now we're going to do it in the uptrend. I want to show you how this is effective too. All right, y'all, so we're in a different pair, and I'm still in the 5 minutes. I just want to show y'all this can work in other pairs as well. So it's just not the GBP alt. I mean, you can trade in any other pair. So now this was coming from a downtrend, and as you see, it's consolidated now because it's not giving us any higher highs, lower lows, or whatever. So we're just sitting here waiting. So the only way we would know if the market is going to be a reversal is if the market actually surpass any of these levels, right? So if it was to continue to go down, then that's when we'll go ahead and keep selling. If it was to go up, guess what? We are not going to trade it up because it's a downtrend. Remember, only way I will enter in a reversal is if I get a retest to that previous level. So I will have to get a retest to this previous level, and guess what? We got it actually right here. So the market came out, broke structure, came down, and came over here. Now we got our crosses. Three crossed over here, so that's great. The way that I would have had enter is actually right here, just because we got an engulfing candle, right? So we got our engulfing candle, and that's where we could have entered in the trade. Like, we could have literally took our pip gains and just rolled this wave all the way through. I would have put my stop loss just roughly right up below this moving averages, just in case. And then once again, we're just going to keep riding this until we get all three candles crossed, or all three moving averages has to cross over. So it looks like all three actually happened around this area. So I am going to use, let's see, so we got a crossover here. It actually crossed over there. So this one was a little bit sloppy, but we're actually just going to essentially say that it actually took us out right here, right? Or we took profit right here. Look at that. That's a 1 to 4, man. I don't know what else to tell y'all right there. That's pips. That's 40 pips right here. And then we could have rode the wave again, guys. If you wanted to get in the market, literally, you could have got in right here if you wanted to, or you could have got in right here. Regardless, you could have rode this wave all the way through. And then too, you could keep going and keep going and keep going. So the only way that you will want to get back in the trade, remember, the only way to get back in the trade is when the candles, so this is buying, you have to buy. If you're buying, the candles have to be above the moving averages. Candles have to be above these moving averages, right? So right now the candles are below, the candles have to be above. So what do I mean? I'm not trading any of this right now because it's consolidating, and I'm just going to wait on the market to break out these candles or break out these moving averages, and then come back and retest in these areas for the moving averages. And then we got it over here, right? So you could have gotten right here because like what I said, I only trade when it retests that same area. So you could have gotten right here and wrote this wave until you got until it just crosses over again. You see what I'm saying? So this is how you guys can you know, play this smart and be effective in this trading, and just keep grinding on this. So other than that, man, if y'all want more content, like what I said, just subscribe to the channel, and then we're going to keep pushing. Let's get it.